Listen, Akin is mine. Stay away from him, you boyfriend snatcher. Anita screamed, pulling Blessing's hair. I was in his room yesterday too. You're just one of his girls. Blessing, her face twisted in rage, yanked Anita's braid. Liar. He loves only me. You're chasing him like a lost puppy. Akin was the cherished son of the DK family, born after a 3-year wait. His arrival celebrated like a festival in their affluent Lagos home. His father, Mr. DK, a wealthy businessman, saw him as the heir to the family legacy. From childhood, Akin was showered with toys, attention, and luxury. His sisters adored him, but his mother's attempts to discipline him were often undermined by Mr. DK. Leave the boy alone, he'd snap. Boys will be boys. By age 10, Akin had learned to exploit his father's indulgence. When he broke a costly vase playing football indoors, his mother scolded him, but Mr. DK interrupted. It's just a vase. I'll buy another, shooting her a warning glance. At 14, Akin demanded a PS5, telling his father, my friends will mock me without it. The next day, a driver delivered the console, and Akin beamed. You're the best, Dad. Growing up, Akin noticed his father entertaining women at home during his mother's travels, laughing late into the night. Once, catching Akin peeking, Mr. DK said, you'll understand when you're a man. At university, Akin, known as the Prince, drove flashy cars and hosted lavish parties, attracting girls with his charm and wealth. He met Amaka, a shy girl, at a campus party. You're special, he whispered, walking her to her hostel. Despite her initial resistance, his persistence won her over, only for her to discover she was one of many. After graduating, Akin prepared for NYSC, the mandatory National Youth Service Corps. The night before camp, his mother, Mama, spoke earnestly. Akin, represent our family well. Stay disciplined and make us proud. He nodded, moved by her words. His father, Chief DK, laughed. Mama, he's my son, a man of honor. He needs no lectures. Enjoy yourself, Akin. Make connections. Posted to a prestigious secondary school as a mathematics teacher, Akin was introduced by the principal. SS2 and SS3 students, meet Mr. Akin. Show him respect. The girls whispered excitedly, drawn to his confident charm. In class, Anita, a bold student, lingered after lessons. Sir, do you have a girlfriend? She asked mischievously. Focus on your studies, Akin replied, his playful tone encouraging her. Akin soon identified vulnerable students, offering compliments and small gifts. You're so smart, he'd say, making them feel special. Girls began visiting his core lodge, giggling and offering to carry his books. Ada, a confident senior, arrived with a homework excuse but offered to cook. You're too fine for canteen food, she teased, preparing jollof rice that filled his room with its aroma. Sei, a quieter senior, tidied his room, laughing, you shouldn't live like this. It became routine. Girls brought snacks, did laundry, or, like Ada, hinted at more, seeing Akin as a prize to boast about. Akin, flattered, justified the attention as harmless. But the teacher-student line blurred as the girls grew bolder, chatting loudly in his room. One evening, Ada stayed late, her hand brushing his. You're the most popular teacher, she whispered. Some of us can keep your heart warm. Akin laughed nervously but didn't stop her. When Ada kissed him, the thrill of the forbidden was intoxicating, and he couldn't deny he enjoyed it. The story of Akin is a vivid tapestry woven with choices, consequences, and the powerful influence of upbringing and environment. It serves as a mirror, reflecting not just Akin's journey, but also lessons we can all apply to our lives. Let's take a deeper dive into the moral lessons this story offers, exploring how they resonate with us as individuals and as a community. Akin's story begins with his childhood, where indulgence defined his upbringing. His father, Mr. DK, dismissed his missteps, whether it was breaking a costly vase or demanding lavish gifts like a PS5, saying, "Boys will be boys." This leniency, while rooted in love, left Akin without the guardrails of discipline. By adolescence, he had learned to manipulate his father's affection to get what he wanted, setting a pattern for reckless behavior. As he grew, this lack of accountability followed him, leading to blurred boundaries and poor choices as a teacher. This teaches us that discipline is not punishment, but a gift. It's the compass that guides us to make thoughtful decisions. For parents, guardians, or mentors, this is a call to action. Love your children, but temper it with structure. Teach them that actions have consequences, and privilege comes with responsibility. For young people, recognize that discipline, whether self-imposed or guided by others, builds character. It's the difference between a life of purpose and one derailed by unchecked desires. Let's ask ourselves, are we fostering discipline in ourselves and those we guide, or are we enabling habits that could lead to harm? As a teacher in the NYSC program, Akin held a position of authority. He was entrusted to educate and inspire his students, particularly the young girls in his classes. Yet, he allowed flattery and attention to cloud his judgment. He offered compliments and gifts, blurring the line between teacher and friend, and eventually crossed ethical boundaries by entertaining inappropriate interactions. This wasn't just a personal failing, it was a betrayal of trust. The lesson here is clear. With power comes the duty to protect, not exploit. Whether you're a teacher, a boss, a community leader, or simply someone others look up to, your influence carries weight. Misusing it, as Akin did, can cause lasting harm to others and to yourself. Imagine the students who trusted him, only to be caught in rivalry and confusion. Their dignity was compromised, and their trust in authority figures shaken. Let's commit to wielding our influence with integrity, ensuring our actions uplift rather than diminish those around us. Ask yourself, am I using my position to empower others or to serve my own desires? The girls in the story, Anita, Blessing, Ada, Sei, and others, were drawn to Akin's charm, wealth, and status. Their competition for his attention led to fights, jealousy, and compromises of their values. They saw Akin as a prize, a way to boost their status or feel special. But in chasing his approval, they lost sight of their own worth. This brings us to a vital truth. Your value is not defined by who pursues you or how others see you. True self-worth comes from within, your character, your principles, and the way you carry yourself. For the young people listening, especially young women, know that you are enough. You don't need to compete for someone's fleeting attention or diminish yourself to feel valued. And for all of us, let's cultivate environments where others feel respected and empowered, not pitted against one another. Reflect. Are you seeking validation from external sources, or are you grounded in your own sense of worth? Akin's story is laced with temptation, from the allure of popularity to the thrill of forbidden connections. When Ada kissed him, he felt the rush of excitement and didn't pull away. That moment of weakness wasn't just a lapse. It was the culmination of years of unchecked indulgence and a lack of moral grounding. Temptation is seductive because it promises instant gratification, but it often leaves behind regret, broken trust, and damaged relationships. The lesson here is timeless. Resist temptation by anchoring yourself in your values. When faced with a choice that feels thrilling but wrong, pause. Ask yourself, will this decision honor who I am and the people who trust me? Will it align with the legacy I want to leave? Temptation tests our character, and passing that test requires courage and clarity. Let's strive to make choices that reflect our best selves, even when no one is watching. Finally, Akin's story reminds us that our lives are the sum of our choices. From his childhood to his role as a teacher, each decision, big or small, built the path he walked. His father's indulgence, his own pursuit of fleeting pleasures, and his failure to uphold his role as a teacher all shaped a legacy that could have been honorable, but instead became cautionary. This is a wake-up call for all of us. Your choices today define your tomorrow. Whether you're a student, a professional, a parent, or a friend, every action contributes to the story others will tell about you. Choose to act with integrity, respect, and purpose. Support those around you to do the same. Imagine a world where we all take responsibility for our actions, uplift one another, and build legacies of honor. That's the world we can create, starting with the choices we make today. As we reflect on Akin's story, let's commit to living with purpose and accountability. Parents, guide with love and discipline. Leaders, wield your influence with care. Individuals, know your worth and stand firm against temptation. And all of us, let's choose paths that reflect the best of who we are. Your legacy is in your hands. Make it one that inspires, uplifts, and endures. Thank you.